Hey everyone, hey and welcome back to yet another episode of Battle Rap Resume. This is your host Tom Quee. I'm here with a preview, of a kind of more minor league in the outcrop there, but incredible battles heralded by an incredible battler as well. Really excited to get into this IRN BRZ preview. Just before I do though, please follow the show at Battle Rap Resume. Get in touch with us, battlerapresume@gmail.com. You want to support the show, you want to listen to stuff like this, episodes like full Battle Resume episodes, weeks, months before they come out. Our very own pay-per-view, that is our Patreon. So if you want to donate there, you want to give back to the show. Currently saving for a new camera to do some interviews, but interviews are coming out on the channel very shortly of myself and Makar interviewed loads of people, including Madness and O'Shea and Pamphlet and P Soldier at April Fools, and they've came out looking really fucking nice actually. Like the first cuts that I've seen of them, they're really like well shot. I really like the way they look, and they're quite cool interviews as well, so definitely keep your eyes out for that on the channel. Subscribe to the channel, comment, tweet us, get in touch, leave us a review on iTunes, all that good stuff. But one of the best things about Battle Rap Resume, one of the frightening things as well, really, is how many episodes that I'm doing, and I kind of look back and I'm like, God, I've had like, probably 100 different battlers on in some form, either on Battle Rap Resume episodes or kind of as guests or whatever, and, you look back and always fondly to go back, and it's always great to have people back on the show that I've had before, and, my guest today, Mackenzie, we were just talking before we went on air, and it was number 35, it was the 20th of September, 2016, so it was quite a while ago. I mean, in his general landscape, the last thing we spoke about was the Bard battle, and a lot has changed since then, but it's great to have you back for the preview, man. How you doing?
Yeah, man, good to be here. It should be good.
Yeah,
to get into it.
Yeah, there's been so much kind of change here. So the last time we spoke against Bard, you taking the title, wasn't it?
Yeah. God, that was ages ago now. That was nearly a year ago. I think that was last July.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that was.
So we did the Bard battle. And then took quite a long break. It wasn't even planned that way. I was meant to battle, I think it was Flabs or somebody. Like they were trying to set that up for like last October, and it never happened. And then it ended up the next battle we did after Bard was in Minnesota, on No Coast.
Yeah, which was a crazy event in the sort of general history of battle rap, isn't it? That these two sort of minor leagues, even though of huge repute, cross over. And it seemed like from all the footage I've seen from the battles themselves to the kind of like behind the scenes stuff that seemed to be documented there, it seemed like it was a crazy trip, man.
Oh yeah, it was nuts. Like it was mad. Like it was weird because just like being a battle rap fan and like watching dudes like Reverse Live and Real Deal and Lush One for like years and years, like becoming so familiar with all these people to go into staying in an Airbnb in a Minnesota suburb with them, like just like wake up, start drinking at 9 a.m.
Right.
Jay Walker gives me a hit of acid. It was we were pretty drained by the end of the week, but I mean, I wanted to say first and foremost, big shout out to Breakneck, shout out to Tyler for not only for organising everything, for driving everyone to and from the airport, for giving us a place to stay, like when we had to get out of the Airbnb, I slept on his floor and shit, like they showed us nothing but hospitality over there, man. We were treated so well. And it was kind of weird. Like I know you had Canelo on the show, and he already told most of the stories that I would tell about America, but it was just so weird going into this like basement venue, this random ass Minnesota venue. Like me and Canelo walked in, and people were coming up to us and like telling us that they'd seen our battles and shit. Like it was a weird feeling. But the whole vibe of the event, the energy was incredible. Like, so one of the best times I've had going away and going out of the UK. But it's certainly the best experience I've had in battle rap so far. We're planning to do it again in November. We've been speaking to Tyler about it. We just need to get shit together for that, and hopefully we can out to do it again because I'm keen to go back, man. I fuck with Minnesota.
Yeah, no, and one of the wildest images of that sort of whole escapade is, for me anyway, Lush in suburbia. Like, it's just such a dissonant image.
Like, we were sitting in it's this leafy suburb. There's a video on my YouTube page where I put together like a little edit and like this.
I saw that.
It looks like it does look like fucking the set of Halloween or something.
Right.
It's this leafy ass suburb, and we're standing outside, like me, Lush, Canal, and Real Deal, just like drinking beers and smoking weed and like just talking loud as fuck about battle rap. Like there's like neighbours mowing their lawn in the next garden, just looking over like, who the hell? Guys, but shit out to Bill Blaze. We cleaned up that house. We left that shit spotless. Nothing got broken. Nothing got set on fire. The police were never called.
Right.
And we got a positive rating on Airbnb somehow. We somehow got a positive rating on Airbnb. So, yeah.
So yeah, obviously refer to the Canelo episode. Check out the battles, yourself versus Jay Walker. And loads of other ones. Breakneck Bowski as well was a good battle that went down.
Canelo versus Billy Shakes.
Billy Shakes, yeah.
That is an insane battle. That was so funny, man.
Yeah. Mickey the Vesh, were they battling?
Mickey died.
Right.
We could have wiped them, man. KOTR versus No Coast, because I won. Breakneck won. No, sorry, Bowski won, and Canelo won, and Mickey just like he fell asleep in the venue, like he was still jet lagged.
Right.
And he woke up, and pretty much like 10 minutes after waking up, he just stepped right in the battle, and it's Mickey's always good when he loses though, because like it's such a car crash thing. Like you don't want to look at it, but you can't look away. It's weirdly compelling to watch Mickey just crash and burn.
It so is. Shout out to Mickey though. Mickey, of course, always great episode as well with him back in the day. But back onto the sort of King of the Ronalds title kind of run. Quite surprising, but I guess it sort of plays to the chaotic attributes of KOTR that you lose to Canal.
Yeah, lost to Canal. And you can see there's an interview on Mad Dog TV that I did, me and Canal did after that battle, and the first thing Canal says is, I never beat him. Like, that. I don't know how the fuck I won that battle. What happened, like, realistically, that was a fucked up battle, man. Like, First of all, obviously Canal deserved the title shot. I would even say he deserved to. Canal embodies King of the Ronalds, the whole King of the Ronalds thing, much better than I do, I think.
Yeah.
But it's a weird style clash, me versus Canal, because I've got like this really sort of highly lyrical, kind of intricate style that relies on like long round lines. Canal's got this kind of rambling, like just this guy taking the piss kind of thing, but he's still very clever with his wordplay. So like it's a weird clash, me versus him. He came with some really good shit for me though. But what happened in the venue is, I think that was the first time KOTR did a show in New Cross in London, and there was a bunch of crackheads got in the venue basically, and I don't think they'd ever been to a battle rap show before, because you can hear it all the way through our battle and like the other battles that happened that night. They're reacting like loud as fuck to bars that aren't even bars, like a setup line. They'll shout louder than
right.
There was a woman who came in that night because there was an open mic beforehand. This was before I arrived. Hulk told me this. This woman came in. She's the same woman who walked through the battle. This. She didn't shut the fuck up during the title match, and I told her to shut her fucking mouth, and she came into the middle of the battle and tried to battle me.
Yeah.
So now that woman beforehand, there was an open mic. She came in. I don't think she paid. She came in. She's off her face on fucking crack or Molly or something.
Right.
And she started like going around asking everyone to buy her a drink. It's KOTR. Everyone's broke as fuck. No one was buying her a drink. She got up on the open mic and like used that to try and get people to buy her drinks. And then she took her trousers off. And then got kicked out of the venue, and then somehow got back in during the title match. You can see, shout out Julia, by the way. Julia's a big fan of KOTR.
Right.
You can see she's standing behind me during that battle, right? And I'm just laughing as this woman, this Hulk, is like trying to not look like he's going to manhandle her, like taking her out of the venue. And you can see Julia's face just turn. She's like, "What the fuck are you doing, you dumb bitch?"
Oh.
She and Eva went out to like try and find her like before the battle was over. It was just crazy, man. But yeah, the crackheads made more noise for Canel, and everyone in the venue thought I won, but they just didn't make enough noise to drown out the crackheads.
Right.
So, but yeah, it is what it is, man. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not really too bothered about it because the KOTR title is kind of like a jump off point. I think now that I can say that, you know, I've held a title in a UK league. I can sort of position myself into getting better opponents and stuff. So, which I have been doing. Like, this is the last few opponents that I've been set up with. Unfortunately, me versus O'Shea didn't go down. I was supposed to go down. Yeah. But the last few battles I've had, it's all been people who I rate. So it's good, man. Like, but yeah. Moving on. Canel lost to Bard after like a month.
That's right. Yeah.
But he's going battling in fucking Boston and shit. Like, just absolutely killed his debut on Don't Flop against Dank. That's a great battle. So yeah, big up Canel. Like, he again, like, KOTR title. It's a jump off point.
Yep.
Like, the next one to watch, in my opinion, from KOTR is GWE.
Right.
Like, he's moving up the ranks. He's going to battle O'Shea soon, I think. Maybe this week. I can't remember. But yeah. So like, this new wave of battle rappers, just random cunts that KOTR finds dangerous.
Yeah, yeah, it's a difficult breed. And in the middle of, you know, this total match sort of stuff, we have, you know, a new path for you. You're talking of jumping off points to a certain extent. IRN BRZ, you know, your league here. So what's the formation behind, you know, creating this?
Okay, well, we started about a year ago. It was me and Scott Early, who you've had on the podcast.
Yeah.
And basically, we sort of noted that battle rap in Scotland, I mean, anyone listening to this, if you want to know anything like about the whole history of battle rap in Scotland, go listen to the Scott Early interview, because he breaks the whole thing down. He is really, really comprehensive. I love that episode. But
thanks, man.
Yeah, battle rap in Scotland we used to do a lot of shows. There was a big freestyle scene. There was a league called Bad Mouth Battles that Gas run, and like Chris Lee's battled on it, and a bunch of English heads battled on it. And this was at the time, this was around 2012, 2013. So that was at the time where Don't Flop was really starting to pop off, and battle rap in general was like, you know, it was that was probably the biggest and the most attention that was ever on battle rap. So there was a really good scene in Scotland. Fast forward a couple of years, the scene kind of peters out, and then last year, we were just sort of thinking about, you know, we need to do like just a big show, not a lot of battles, but a few really good battles, some good sets, and try to like do something that's a little bit more, that could be seen as a little bit more of a, not competitor, but a comparable product to a Dope Flop, you know, like, because shout out all the other Scottish leagues and all the people who put battle events together, like, for the culture and for the community and stuff, it's great. But we were just wanting to do something a little bit bigger. So we did the first show, and I mean, I still think that the battles from that first show, me versus Koj, Chris versus Evil, and Ryza versus Scott Early, the three, you know, really great battles. The shit looks good, you know, but it was sort of a big learning experience, just going from only battling to throwing a battle event. Like, it's just a huge learning curve. So, we done a few shows after that. I did a show that was basically just a small freestyle tournament. And then in December we did King of the Ronalds versus IRN BRZ in Glasgow, which was a great event. Like, that's the atmosphere that night was just crazy.
What were the battles then?
So it was me versus Mickey Worthless, Bowski versus Z.
Oh, Bowski versus Z, yeah.
Yeah, Ryza versus Visceral, and Gmo versus Fletch. Fletch is this kid from Newcastle. He's only like 15. I think he's a grime MC, but yeah, he's got family in Scotland, so he came up and battled Gmo. So I mean, the atmosphere was crazy. I mean, there were people that came from London to come and support, like Prophet Zebediah, like shout out him, shout out Zen. He came out. Yeah, so the theme was Scotland versus England, and it ended just as the game did the other night. It ended with a 2-2 draw.
Right.
So.
Right. Inevitably,
Inevitably,
a kind of boring contest.
You imagine if Scotland had won like last night? Can you imagine that shit?
Right.
Just right after the election, can you imagine the raging everyone would have
bruising.
Amazing, yeah.
Oh my god! I don't want to imagine. And you know, we had you know, now sort of building up to then this event, which we're going to preview now. Really great card this is. I've noticed it's just iron bars. Is there going to be like a name of the event, or is that kind of not really your guys' style? Or?
Yeah, I mean, not really. It's we only throw a few events a year. We're not really like a league that does a show every month or whatever. We're just doing like spontaneous events. But this is the first anniversary, so you could call it that.
Right. And just to remind us, like the faculty at Iron Bars is yourself, and who else is kind of organising the league, filming it, that sort of stuff?
I mean, right now I'm the main guy, kind of organising everything. Right. Scott does what he does when he can. He's got a family and shit though, so he kind of has to be out for most of it. But just right now it's just me, and I organise the film crew. We get there's a few guys that I work with here, because videography is what I do for my day job. I've already got all the equipment and shit.
Yeah.
So it's easy enough to organise, and then we just get like people come down and help out. Like last time when we did the King of the Ronalds event, I had a cameraman pull out. So Kane, who runs Breaking the Barrier in Glasgow, he just stepped in and filmed the event. I got a lot of friends who just sort of step in if I need help in some way. So yeah, we just kind of it's a grassroots operation.
And this is June 23rd. I want to remind people, so a little bit away now, about 2 weeks away, just under that. The Poetry Club. Talk to me about the venue. Is it a known hip hop sort of venue or?
No, but it's a really good venue. It's mostly like small gigs, bands, and acoustic sets that it caters for. But this is part of there's a complex in Glasgow called SWG3. It's just basically a big warehouse. There's like 3 stories to it. This is the smallest venue, but it's really well suited for battle rap because there's a separate bar area. Because that's the thing that fucks up a lot of battle events is people going to the bar and just talking in the back while the battles are on. So there's a separate bar area. It's quite a small venue. It's quite tight. So we should be able to get a really good atmosphere going because you need that kind of tight, close-in atmosphere for a good battle event. And that's something that I've learned from going and battling in different places and different types of venues over the last couple of years. Is like the venue itself is almost as important as the card,
right?
In terms of creating an atmosphere, you know, throwing a battle event is all about creating an atmosphere from start to finish. So if you have a good venue that's where people are close together, people start vibing off of the energy a little bit more. I don't know, it's hard to explain, but yeah, the Poetry Club's great, and SWG3 just for anything, like they're probably the best venue in Glasgow, I would say. And the staff last time we did it, in the first event in SWG3, the staff were incredible. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at a few pictures of it online. Actually, it does look really awesome for a venue. It's quite tight and quite a small sort of atmospheric room there. This is going to be interesting. And the card itself, inevitably with these sort of things, you know, you get in the live hip hop with the live rap battles. Delivery room, first of all. I mean, I'm going to play ignorant. I don't know either of these people, but maybe you can enlighten us.
Yeah, delivery room. A couple of MCs from Paisley. I don't know if one of them's from Glasgow. I don't know. Right. I fucked up because I'd booked them before and I put the wrong name on the flyer and they've never let me live it down.
Right.
But yeah, no, they're my boys though. They're great. Yeah, go check them out on Bandcamp. Delivery Room. Just really good boom bap hip hop. They're a couple of beatboxers as well. I mean, they're really shit hot beatboxing too. So, yeah, I've seen them play a good few times. They've been kind of successful in Glasgow as well because they sell T-shirts.
Right.
I've seen a lot of people like sporting the Delivery Room T-shirts. So yeah, just a couple of real good dudes who I've done a lot of shows with in the past, and they'll kick off the event right.
Excellent. And Mr. Bose, am I saying
Mr.
that right?
Bose, right? Okay, I've got to give you some backstory because a lot of people outside of Scotland don't know who Mr. Bose is or realise the significance of this guy. So he was in a rap crew called Two Tone Committee. They released some of the first ever Scottish made hip hop records in like the late 80s. They were doing hip hop in Scotland at a time where practically no one else was doing it. And a lot of their stuff was kind of like breakcore, like hip hop, like that really super fast, very old school style. Bose took a lot of time out. He reverted to Islam. He became quite religious for a while. He gave up music for about 7 years. And then probably around, I want to say, 07, 08, the hip-hop scene in Glasgow had grown and expanded a lot. And he jumped right back in like he hadn't missed a day. Like, this dude, the way he spits, the beats that he makes, he's like the aficionado of Scottish hip hop. Like he's on a different level, but he's been doing it so long. He's played Europe. He's played all up and down the UK. He's connected a lot with people at festivals and shit. Like I fuck with Bose, man. I've got a lot of time for him as a dude as well. That was one of the things that I did when I was chilling with Lush. I was playing him Scottish hip hop, and like I had to like turn him on to Bose. Like Bose was one of the people who he fucked with the most. So yeah, man, it's always good to see a Mr. Bose set. Like he's super on point. You never see him slip up.
And the whole card, getting onto the rap battle section now is fantastic. Really, even, I know most of these people, some of them I'm going to have to go through, but the majority of the card is very familiar to me. These are great matchups, exciting matchups, especially considering this poetry room setting as well. I think this is going to be, an excellent thing. Yeah. But the thing that mainly catches my eye, Mackenzie, is hosted by Respect BA.
Yeah.
I recently had him on the show, giant fan. The reaction to that episode has been fantastic, by the way.
Yeah. I'm so happy that BA is getting the shine that he deserves.
Oh,
now.
Man. He's amazing.
After being away for so long, and he just jumped right back in. Like the Tony battle. It was weird in the room. Like, I think Scott Ellie said this when he was on the podcast. Like, never seen Tony get handled in that way.
Oh yeah.
It was just crazy. And then same with Sirius Jones. Like, he just did not flinch at all with Sirius Jones. I think Sirius Jones pretty much underestimated BA and what he was going to be capable of doing. But yeah, dude is getting exactly the shine that he deserves now. And he's very graciously offered to come through and host. He's a great host. It's good to have BA there because, like, well, I mean, the episode that you did with him was great, because like of him explaining the history of how battle rap used to be and the mentality that he comes from. There needs to still be a little bit of that. I think as good as battle rap is, and as technical as it is now, as lyrically advanced as it is now, it does miss that competitive edge a little bit nowadays, and I think the BA definitely brings that competitive edge back. Like, he's one of the few who battles like he's trying to behead somebody.
Yeah.
So good to have him hosting.
Yeah. Definitely, not that he needed it, but it gives an even more sense of an authority to the thing as well, a sense of legacy. He really is a living legend. He's studying for the episode. I knew it already, but kind of watching the battles in depth. And like you say, I saw the Sirius performance live, and that was just astonishingly good as well.
Yeah.
Like he didn't miss a beat from the Tony battle. It's like, it's just as good.
He's Respect BA said to me, I don't know if you know this about BA, but he's like super deep into martial arts. Like he's got multiple black belts and multiple disciplines, super deep into like Muay Thai and shit. Like he's a dangerous guy in that level. But I think he applies that martial artist mindset to battle rap. Like he said to me once, I only write my bars in the middle of the night because I like to feel that when everyone else is sleeping, I'm awake and getting better. That's just his mentality, man. Like one of my boys, physics, used to live with him in Glasgow, and like he's a rapper too. BA would wake him up. Like, he would wake him up in the morning, and like early in the morning, and go, "Yo, where's your bars at?" Like he's just like that, man. He's a different beast.
Oh man. Okay, so yeah, gonna be great to have him. So is he gonna be the main host? Are you gonna be hosting as well, or?
I'll probably jump in for like a little bit of the hosting and that, just like getting things together. I like to organise the crowd and shit myself. But I'm going to pass the hosting duties over to Respect BA, because that's that's what he's there for. He's there to be the MC. He's there to kick the whole thing off.
Yeah, no, again, going to be great to see him on there. So we get to the first battle, with someone that I'm aware of and someone that I'm not so aware of. Z versus MC Lean is going down as the initial battle. Z, I remember from battling Frankie Fraser and a few others. He's been on Don't for a bit. MC Lean, what's his status here?
MC Lean, so he's relatively new. I think he's maybe been battling for a little less than a year.
Right.
If you want to go check him out, check out his debut on Bristol Battles. He's got a lot of potential, that kid. He's a big battle fan. He's always at the events. He's always supporting. He's pretty funny. He's got some bars. I know that Copacetic Soul from Canada, from King of the Dot, he's actually a big fan of MC Lean.
Oh.
Because of his tryout battle, like something like, Copacetic Soul fucks with him. MC Lean was in the final of the last Breaking the Barrier, and I'm going to be honest, I don't remember who won. He battled against Jails. The footage has not come out yet. But I thought there's a couple of battles that are like this, the WD battles like this too. I thought it's good to throw somebody who's quite new and relatively inexperienced in with someone who's been battling for years and years and years. Because when you do that, you're either going to see the new guy have a breakthrough performance, or you're going to see the vet catch a body. So either of those things is a good outcome. So yeah, this should be a good battle, man. It's always good to get Z on the card. I fuck with Z, like that's my boy. So
yeah, no, interesting. I mean, yeah, all of these guys, I'm sure, are going to show through. And Z, I do remember quite enjoying. He had some quite weird lines against Frankie. I think buying like a can of cum from Asda or something.
What was it? You got banned from Asda once because they wouldn't sell you cans of cum or something.
That was it. Yeah. Shout out Z, and Frankie was also dope in that battle. And we get to another battle where I know one person, and I know this person, I know Chad the Lad. I remember him and Jaster. Do you remember that battle?
Yeah, him and Jaster versus Gupsy and Louis. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
That was a decent battle, man. Chad hasn't battled in years, so this battle is now not as listed. This has changed. Kamehameha had to drop out. So Chad the Lad is now going to battle Jails.
Okay.
Jails, for those who don't know, he's another dude who's been battling in Scotland for easily about 5 years, and has never really battled outside of Scotland. He battled on the second day of the Don't Flop Edinburgh event against WD. That's probably that's his only sort of battle for a non-Scottish league. But big shout out to Jails, man. Kamehameha pulled out last night. And I was sweating, thinking because I've been through so many MCs that I knew that couldn't do it, and I didn't just want to throw anyone in, but I hit up Jails. Jails said yes right away. Short only a couple of weeks to prep, but it should be good. It's going to be good to see Chad back after all these years. Chad was always a very likable MC. He was always very funny. He was always super loud and super confident. No matter who he was battling, he back in the day, back at the sort of the Badmouth era when there was a lot more happening with Scottish battle rap, Chad was on nearly every card. So it's going to be good to see him back after all that time. Should be a good battle.
And yeah, the getting to the next battle now, which is Weedy versus Acre. And Weedy actually got in touch with me recently. He's going to be on the show. We are going to do an episode because,
nice.
you know, I think we discussed him when we did our episode. I've discussed him on the Scott Early episode, and I probably discussed him. I discussed him with Soul as well because he was Soul's tryout. Quite famously. And the guy is a legend of Scottish battle rap, isn't he?
He is. Yeah, he's a legend of Scottish rap, like in general. He just released an album. I want to shout that out. Like, I don't know if it's on the Power Cup Productions Bandcamp or if it's in his Bandcamp or whatever, but he just released an album. Go check out Weedy's music. I fuck with his music too. He's just a legend in general, man. Like he's a very community oriented person. You know, he was helping out Kane for a long time, like helping to run the Breaking the Barrier League. And he's a guy who he was just up for battling anyone. Like he would battle someone who was their first battle just to like give them that leg up. Now, I think some people might be wondering like why I set Weedy up against Acre.
Right.
Because Acre's relatively new. The boy's got a lot of talent and a lot of potential. Originally, I was going to set Weedy up versus Hulk from King of the Ronalds, which would, and I still want to set that up. I think we should definitely do that the next time we do a King of the Ronalds show in Scotland, because that would be a crazy battle, Weedy versus Hulk. Hulk unfortunately couldn't make the date, so I tried a couple other people, tried to set up a couple other people against Weedy. They flaked out, and then I actually watched the Bard versus Acre battle, and I was kind of stunned. Like this kid from Scotland, who I've never heard of, who's only ever battled in an English league in Sheffield, and the boy's got bars. And Bard is not an easy presence to match.
Nope.
And Acre didn't die. Like he did, especially considering I don't know how many battles he did before that, but I only saw like one other Acre battle on that channel, so I don't know. So again, this is another battle, kind of like Z versus MC Lean. This is a veteran versus rookie, and the outcome of that is, as I said before, Acre is either going to step the fuck up or he's going to get bodied. And I hope that he steps the fuck up, because this is his first battle in his home country. So, and it's against a seasoned vet, so it should be a very interesting battle.
Yeah, good thought process behind that one, definitely. I think, Acre obviously has that sort of Dove Scandal heat there. I thought, he is kind of, he needs a bit more experience. I think the Bard did kind of flare on him a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Bard massively outperformed him. I think that's, to be constructively critical of Acre, I think it's just he's unseasoned. He's definitely got the bars. He understands the battle rap formula very well. You can hear it in the way that he structures his rhymes. Some of the things he says are very, very clever, but he just needs to bring out that confidence a bit more. He had some of the lines in the Bard battle. He was kind of stumbling over some of his lines because I guess it was just nerves or whatever. But once Acre brings that confidence out of himself, he's definitely going to be a problem.
And, get to a visiting MC in this case. Jay Dillon is coming up, which is great to see. Obviously, Jay Dillon done fantastic, in Don't Flop, has some brilliant battles. Versus Scott Early, great friend of the show. Obviously, you mentioned him before we did the top 10 Scottish battle rappers. It was great to have him on. This is a cool matchup. Yeah,
it's a very cool matchup, man. It was good to set it up. Like Scott Early is another dude who's been battling for time. He absolutely killed it in his Don't Flop battle against Q Riot in the Edinburgh event. Like that was one of the best battles of the night. Scott Early versus Q Riot. Shout out Q Riot too, because he killed it. I'm going to battle him in a park in Edinburgh in September.
Nice.
That should be an interesting battle. Yeah, that's one I'm doing for the culture. But Scott Early versus Jay Dillon, good to set Scott Early up with an English opponent, and someone who's a bit established. I met Jay Dillon at the KOTR Manchester event last year, and he's a real cool guy. Like,
he's a good guy.
Very good, very very nice guy, very down to earth, just a very straightforward dude, and quite a talented wordsmith as well. So it'll be interesting because they've got very different styles. Scott is like very in your face, very loud, and Jay Dillon's sort of quite laid back and casual. He just sort of stands with his eyes closed, and just like throws out these punchlines. Yeah, no, that should be a very interesting clash, man. I've got high hopes for that battle.
Yeah, I'd like to see Scott sort of inhabit his inner Jay Dillon and sort of do a bit more kind of that sort of approach. I think that'd be quite cool because Jay Dillon isn't really going to be like Scott, but I think Scott could maybe mimic some stuff like that. But yeah, that is a great battle. Scott is dope, and we get to the top battle, which is of course yourself versus Bobby Rex, which is a very interesting matchup on any league. Very, very intriguing here. Bobby coming up here to do this sort of thing. Yeah. But I mean, before we get into the battle itself, talk to me about: is there any pressure like organising, running the event / preparing for the headline?
Yes. Yeah. Well, I've got my bars locked in for Bobby. I still need to get them like memorised and like in my head. I need to run them like hundreds and hundreds of times. Yeah. That's the thing with any battle. If you really want to come out like and have a good performance, you need to know your shit, and the only way to do that is to just rigorously run it again and again and again until you're sick of it, until it loses all meaning. And that's the only way that you have to like almost operate on a subconscious level. Yeah. You have to get it so ingrained in your mind that anything that happens around you isn't going to distract you. Mm-hmm. But I think I told you this before when I was on the podcast last time. Running an event, the pressure of running an event and also battling is like when I battled Koji, because I was dealing with all the shit that was going on with making the event run on time. I managed to get like 5 minutes to go to a quiet part of the venue and run my bars, and as I was running my bars I was forgetting things. I was mixing all my bars up in my head, like I was getting everything in the wrong order, and like I was just like freaking the fuck out because I'm like about to go into this battle, and like stuff, just because I'd been dealing with so much the whole day, just shit was just falling out of my head. And but by the time that I actually went to do the battle, it was all good. So I think the fact that I've done it before, I'm a little more used to it. It is very stressful, and in that respect, Bobby does have the upper hand. All he has to do is show up, battle, and get drunk afterwards. I've got a lot more shit to deal with, but I'm definitely coming prepared for this battle. Some of the material I've written for Bobby is definitely some of the best material I've ever written.
Right.
And it's geared to a Glasgow crowd, a hometown crowd, in a different way. It allows me to do things that I wouldn't really be able to do, like hit out with certain references and hit out with certain things, like cultural things that I wouldn't be able to do if we did this battle elsewhere,
And Bobby, as an opponent, quite a different. Obviously, you faced some great guys, no doubt, and had some brilliant battles with them. But Bobby got a lot of charisma, hasn't he? A lot to his arsenal.
Yeah, Bobby's a difficult cat to write for, because like he's got this kind of dual personality where on one side he's very funny, very likable, very charismatic. On the other side, he's a big fucker who looks like he'll kill you. Like he's got such a. It's not even like an intimidating presence. It's just like he can do a like violent, aggressive kind of content, but do it in a totally believable way. Just because of like his stature, just because of who he is, he can do that kind of content in a really believable way. But he can also flip it around and be very funny and like get people on his side that way. So like he's got a lot in his arsenal, man. Like he's lyrically good. I think. Well, I won't discuss my strategy too much, but like he's lyrically very good. He's a great performer, and he'll keep going even if shit isn't going his way. Like the O'Shea battle.
Right. Yeah.
That I've never seen someone rap all the way through a choke like that. Like most people, when they choke, they stop for a second and like go fuck and like run the shit back in their head. Bobby just kept talking. It was surreal. Like it was a choke that lasted for like literally about 90 seconds. He just kept talking. And like he said his own name about 15 times, and people still reacted to it again because of the charisma factor.
Yeah.
But, I know this is going to be a great battle because like we tried to set this up like before, back in March, I think, and it never went down for the event got cancelled. Just different reasons, man. But Bobby's very keen to battle me. I know that he rates what I do, and I'm very keen to battle him because I really rate what he's been doing. So this battle's definitely going to go off. Definitely, man. I'm looking.
Yeah, and that brings us to the top of the card. Really incredible card, really good card. With Respect BA hosting in this venue, like, can people get tickets online, or is it just on the door?
Yeah, if you just go on the Facebook page, the Iron BRZ Facebook page, and you'll find the event page there. There's a ticket link. Basically, you just pay through PayPal. Your name gets added to an electronic guest list. Just give your name at the door. That's you. So there's no paper tickets or nothing. It's just name on the door. But there will be tickets on the door. It's £10 a ticket.
That's very reasonable, to be fair.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's difficult pricing these things.
Yeah.
You know, you can try and lower prices to get more people in, but then you end up fucking yourself out of making your money back. Like, I think anyone who's ever run a battle event or a hip hop event in general will know, like, you're not really doing it to make loads of money. If you can make your money back, then you can count it as a success.
Sure.
You know, we're just I'm doing this because it's good to see shit like this happening where I live. Because, you know, for people who are into battle rap, for people who are into seeing live hip hop, live rap, there's only so many options, you know. And just an event like this, you know, shit like that doesn't happen that often in Glasgow. So, yeah, man. Iron BRZ all fucking day.
Yeah.
But by the way, one more thing I wanted to say, we will have merch.
Good.
We will have merch for sale on the night, and also it's going to be for sale online probably after the event goes down. So yeah, I think y'all can have.
Yeah, awesome. And I will I'll add the the ticket link, the event description, the Facebook. That's all be in the description of this podcast, YouTube, whatever you're listening on as well. So you can find it there as well. Definitely subscribe to these guys on YouTube. You know, watch the battles so far. There's been some great battles, including yourself versus Koji, as you mentioned, is fantastic. Yep. The whole card is brilliant, man. I had to have you on really to build up to this. This is June 23rd. I want to remind people, the Poetry Club in Glasgow. Doors at 8. You can find out all the information online. But Mackenzie, thanks for joining me, man. This has been great.
Thanks for having me on, man. I appreciate it.